All right, we will continue Lab 9. My machine ran out of memory, my VM crashed, so hopefully I've freed up enough memory here that we can continue to work and get through this lab. Okay, so I'll share my screen and move a couple things around here. We were on step 3, and let's pick it up there. So I had just explained about the account list. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is create the airport table. Be sure to put your PL/SQL drop code prior to the create table statement. Here are the specifications for creating the airport table, the validation query, and the validation results. All right, and then create an index named NK Airport and create the index with those 4 columns. Here's your validation query and your validation results. All right, then we need to seed the airport table and with these cities. Okay, so you do an insert into the airport table, a set of inserts to insert those airports, your validation query, and your results. All right, step D, we're moving right along. Now you create the account list table and the sequence, and I think there was a sequence on the airport table, right? I think I skipped over that. Yep, airport S1 sequence. We always have that. And so again, put the PL/SQL drop code to the account list table and the sequence prior to your create statements. Okay, here are the specifications for account list, your validation query, and the validation results. Another reminder to create the account list S1 sequence. All right. Now you need to seed the account list table. All right, so we're going to you click on the setup script here and it opens up more information here. And here is a stored procedure. So this is PL/SQL code, and we're going to create a stored procedure. Okay, and this stored procedure will seed the account list for us with that standardized list of accounts that we will then populate into the member table. Okay, so just copy. Okay, it says the instructions: copy and paste this code into a text editor of your choice. Okay, so you copy and paste this code into your SQL script. Okay, you've got your SQL script open in gedit. Right, copy this inline to into your SQL script. Okay, copy it in as is. Don't forget the slash at the bottom, and that will that ends the procedure. That slash there is important. And then when you run that, you will get a message, an Oracle message that the stored procedure is created. Okay? Once the stored procedure is created, then we need to execute the stored procedure. So you see that the stored procedure name up here is seed account list, and then we will execute seed account list. I'm going to show you one thing that will help if you have any errors with that PL SQL code, which should only happen, well, if the data isn't correct in your database, you could have problems running it. But creating the stored procedure shouldn't have a problem creating it. But I'll show you a command that you can put in here. Okay, so here's in my script the seed account list. Here's the create the seed account list procedure, and then I like to have this command in. This has been helpful sometimes. Show errors, and so if you have any problems creating that stored procedure, then show errors will come back and tell you why. I give you some diagnostics on maybe why you had a problem creating that stored procedure. Okay, so you see it's just show errors, no semicolon, and then you see the execute seed account list here. Okay, back to the instructions. After you execute that, then here's your validation query, and this stored procedure Oracle, it's stored as a database object. Just like tables are stored as a database object, the stored procedure is stored as a database object. Okay, so this validation query queries the system table, user objects, and looks for this seed account list. And the result here, it should find your seed account list and tell you it is a procedure. Okay. All right. And then another validation query to query the account list table, and your results should come back with 50 accounts created for each of the 4 airports. Okay, and you can go into SQL Plus and query that account list table and look and see what those accounts look like if you would like to do that. Okay, step F. Just run this update as is. That makes sure that where the state province is California, that it changes that to CA. Okay, so you just run that update, and then you're ready for step G. Okay. You need to run the script that creates the update member account procedure, and then you call it, you execute it to now go in and use that account list table and consume accounts from there and assign those to the memberships. So this will change the membership account number in your member table. Okay. So again, step G here, the setup script, we click on that to open it up. And again, here is your PL SQL code. You copy and paste this in line to your into your SQL script. Again, be sure that you have the slash at the bottom, which ends the procedure. I again like to do the show errors command after that. And then here's your validation query that will show that the procedure has been created and stored in Oracle, and then execute the procedure. If all of your data is correct in all your previous labs, that should execute fine. And then here's your validation query and your validation results. And you see that the account numbers have now been changed and have this airport code appended, prepended to the account number. Okay. If all that works correctly, you're good. You're on your way. Troubleshooting script. If that doesn't work, you can click on the troubleshooting script here, and it opens up some additional validations. Go ahead and put these right into your script, and this helps you go back to previous labs to validate that your membership data is correct, and helps you troubleshoot. All right. Okay, and then we are on to step 4. In your troubleshooting, if you have problems, you should try to fix it, but don't hesitate if you can't get it fixed in a reasonable time. Right, get with Josh, get with me. We'll help you with that and get it fixed before you submit it. Okay, so if you know it's wrong and you know it has problems, don't submit it. Get with us and get it fixed. Okay, we're on to step 4 here. Now we're going to create the transaction upload table. He starts out here saying he's going to give you the big picture. This is what's going on in our business. Our video store just got a consolidation of rentals from a store that's closed for our customers. So this store that closed has exactly the same customers that we have. And that was an old store, and they have a lot of rentals that our customers did, and ours is a new store. So the old store has now been closed. We are the new store, and we're going to import their data, the data from that store into our into our database. All right, and we're going to validate that data as we bring it in. There are some rows where there are duplicate rows and some things that we don't want to bring in. So that's what we're doing here with this transaction upload. We're going to get this data from the old store. So the old storage computers, it's been exported into a file, and now in our database, from that database into a file, now we will import it or load it into our database now. So how do we do that? Says the transaction upload table is in unnormalized form, which means it has repeating rows. And unnormalized isn't really the correct term here because it's really not a relational table because it has duplicate rows. Okay, we'll continue. The data has secured a valid customer ID and item ID before generating the CSV source file, before it was exported from the other database. And now you need to create an import table to support the upload of this remote storage data. Okay. So this will be implemented in an Oracle database as an external table. Some further information on external tables here. But what it means is that we're going to do a create table statement, and as part of this create table statement, we're going to tell Oracle that this table is really out in this CSV file. And Oracle, with the instructions we give Oracle will go out to this CSV file, find the data, and then be able to show it to us and treat it as a normal table in our database. Okay, so here are the specifications for the transaction upload table. Again, even for the transaction upload table, you need to have the PL/SQL drop table code prior to the create table statement for the transaction upload. And we don't have a sequence here, so in your PL/SQL drop table code, you don't need to account for the sequence. All right, here are the specifications for this table, and you see it's very simple. There are no constraints, and you've got the data types here and the columns. All right, now before you create the transaction upload table, the instructions say you need to create a physical and virtual directory. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is you don't need to do that. It's already done for you. Okay, it's already done for you. So let's go look at it. So I'm going to go to activities here and open up a terminal window, and let's go to that directory, cd u01 app Oracle upload, and look at the files, list the files. Okay, so here are the files that are in that directory, and you see here a transaction upload.csv file, and that's the file we will use in this lab. All right, you see a transaction upload to file, we'll use that in a later lab. Okay, transaction upload CSV, that's the file we're going to use. It's already there. Okay, so these commands, all this Linux stuff here, you don't need to do, okay? You don't need to create the directory. You don't need to change ownership. It's already there. All this is done. You don't need to unzip anything. You don't need to do this create directory. All of this is already done for you, okay? And that brings us down to here, the validation query. You can use the following query to see the full structure of an external table. So here's your validation query, and then here are the validation results. Now, how do we do this create table with an external table, organization external? If you look at the validation results here, and let me scroll down, you see that when Oracle does that validation, it brings back exactly the create table command, okay? And so this is exactly what you do to do the create table. Your validation result here shows you exactly the code that you need to do the create. All right. So since this is here, I'm going to go to my code here and just show it to you here in my code, and we'll just work from here. I want to explain it to you. I want you to understand what this organization external is doing, okay? So I'm going to scroll up so you can see that I have the PL SQL drop table code for the transaction upload table here. And now here's the create table, and it's just a normal create table down to you get the last column defined, and then you have this organization external. Okay. What does that tell Oracle? When Oracle sees this, it then parses through this for instructions on how to process this file. So the type is Oracle Loader. So Oracle, that's an Oracle application. And Oracle will run the Oracle Loader to handle processing the file. Okay, we see here the default directory upload. Okay, and we just looked in that directory, and so here it is, default directory upload. And let's go down to location here, and then location gives the name of the CSV file. So it goes to the upload directory and looks for this transaction upload CSV file. And then there are some parameters here that tells it how to process this file, what format this file is in, okay? Access parameters. So records, which means rows in our table, are delimited by a new line character, okay? So when Oracle sees a new line character, that means I'm at the end of a row of data, I'm starting now a new row of data. And we see down here that fields, meaning columns, are terminated by a comma. So when Oracle sees a comma, it means I've come to the end of the value for a column. So between the commas are the values for the columns. Take that value and put that into the column that it lines up with in our transaction upload table. Now you see here an optionally enclosed by. So when we do Oracle character strings, we do single quotes, right, to enclose a character string. And so we're telling Oracle here that there are single quotes inside of here that enclose the character strings. And note carefully here this optionally enclosed by. Okay, this is a double quote, then a single quote, then another double quote. Okay, telling Oracle that the single quote is that we have character strings enclosed within single quotes. Okay, so that's hard to see sometimes when you're looking at my screen or any screen, that it's a double quote, then a single quote, then another double quote in that parameter. All right. Then you see that there are some instructions for what to do if Oracle encounters bad data and can't process this file or can't process records within the file. And when we're importing data, we can't guarantee the state of data, and so we give Oracle some error handling instructions here in case it hits bad data. So if it's a bad file, then tell us that, and in the transaction upload.bad file, create that file and give us the error information in there. If records are bad, rows can't be read, then put that information in this transaction upload.dis file for discarded rows that couldn't be processed. And then a log file. So as Oracle is processing this, create a transaction upload log for us. Okay, so rejection limit unlimited means go through the whole file. We could tell Oracle after you hit 10 bad records, just stop. We don't want to process anymore because we want to figure out what's going on. But in our case, rejection limit unlimited. Okay, let me show you one other thing here. When you do this optionally enclosed by, double quote, single quote, double quote, when you type in the single quote, gedit may automatically put in a second single quote. Gedit expects that where there is an open single quote, there will be a closed single quote. All right, so be careful if gedit puts in an extra single quote in there, and you'll need to delete that. When you end up with one single quote in there, gedit is not going to like that. Gedit's going to say you need to have a closing single quote. And so you see that from this point on in my file, there is a lot of pink. The color is not correct in gedit anymore because of that single quote. And you can fix that by putting in a comment line, dash is a comment, and then put in a single quote. And you see there that Oracle put in, or gedit put in two single quotes. I don't want two single quotes. I want one single quote. So I delete the second one. And now you see that changed my colors. And now the color scheme is back to normal. And gedit is happy because it has a matching single quote to this one that we put up here. Okay, that restores your color scheme. All right. That is it. You run that validation query, and it should give you back your table description. And then you have one more validation query, and we're going to count the rows that were imported. So select count as external rows from transaction upload, and you should have 11,520 rows that are in that transaction upload table. Okay, all right, that's it for Lab 9. Good luck with that, and if you need help, reach out to your peers. I see people out there on the Google Hangout using that. Very good. Josh and I are also available if you need the help. Okay? All right, I'll go ahead and conclude this instruction video.